At the last count, there were 336 political appointees at the presidency under the previous government. While we're in the process of recruiting supporting staff to enable the full functioning of our presidency, the numbers will come nowhere near the army of people that were hired under the previous government.
JYTV News. Keep watching JYTV. Everything you need to know.
Okay, when I say I, you mention your name and then you say after me. I, do in the name of the Almighty God swear that I bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. So help me God. The next oath will be the official oath. And it follows the same pattern. You say after me. I, do in the name of the Almighty God swear that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Ghana in the office of Deputy Minister, and then you say Minister, and that I will uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana as by law established. So help me God. We take the next oath, and that's the oath of secrecy. And again, you mention your name, and when we get to Minister or Deputy Minister, Lydia, you say Minister of State, and then you say Deputy Minister. I, holding the office of to the Republic of Ghana, do in the name of the Almighty God swear that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my official duties, except as may be required for the discharge of my official duties, or as may be specially permitted by law. So help me God. Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you very much. Yes, a round of applause, please.
With the skills that they need to go into the world of work. And one of your first responsibilities will be to superintend the National Review Conference on Education, to bring stakeholders together to dialogue on how to improve our educational outcomes. Attorney General will be required to reform our justice system to make it fair and transparent to all Ghanaians. You'll also be responsible for holding people accountable and making sure that the sword of justice goes after people who have misappropriated the resources of Ghanaians. One of the major tasks you have to undertake is to shepherd the National Constitutional Validation Conference in order that we can begin amendment of our Constitution to make it a living document for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, long before the elections, we were aware of the parlous state of our economy, and we made specific pledges to address same. The energy sector is also riddled with many hydra-headed problems, threatening its very survival. Already we've been at work since my first day in office to tackle these problems. Indeed, you elected us to confront and resolve such challenges. As you may all be aware, the previous government did not work ensure the smooth running of the energy sector by neglecting to arrange enough fuel to power our thermal plants. This was important because of the known scheduled maintenance work that was to take place on the West African gas pipeline, which is responsible for bringing in significant gas for the thermal plants that we have in our Eastern Enclave. Through determined efforts, I can report that we have now averted the looming threat of power outages and began delivering fuel to the thermal plants in the east in advance of the shutdown of the West African gas pipeline. And Honorable Jinapo, I want to congratulate you for working very hard. Similar timely interventions have been necessary in areas such as education, where an acute food shortage was a major problem when schools were ordered to reopen on 10th January. We have put in short-term measures to ensure that our children have adequate food so that they can go ahead with their learning. These are short-term measures and will help to keep our children in school, even as we strategize on streamlining the supply of food to schools and pay off arrears that are owed to schools, some dating from as far back as 2021. Over the weekend, I announced that a committee of eminent legal and governance experts would lead the process for a comprehensive review of the 1992 Constitution, taking into account the work that was done by previous committees. This will ensure that we refine our Constitution to meet the current exigencies and stand the test of time to meet present and future needs. I believe that this effort will be supported by the majority of Ghanaians who yearn for a constitution that is responsive to our modern world. While we were all aware of the country's parlous economic state before the elections, it is important in the spirit of openness and transparency to inform the people of Ghana about the true state of affairs as we inherited it. Therefore, I encourage the ministers, as you assume office, to tell the nation about the state of affairs in your sectors, even while you work tirelessly to lift us out of the current situation. On the part of the Attorney General, as I said, you will be expected to spearhead the much-needed reforms in our judicial system to make it more accessible and beneficial to all, irrespective of their backgrounds. The people of Ghana are desirous of a system that guarantees equal justice for all and nothing more or nothing less. It is quite clear that so much needs to be done in so short a time, and I assure the people of Ghana that this government will rise to the challenge and will reset our country. As I pointed out during my inaugural speech, Ghanaians have, through their votes, declared their intention to demand the highest standards of governance, and we cannot afford to fail them. This naturally puts a burden of responsibility on us, which we must prove equal to. Ghanaians have shown that the days of tolerance for disrespectful gaslighting by government officials are well and truly over. They will take firm action as they deem fit to punish any administration that takes them for granted. I therefore charge you to serve in humility and candor, always remembering that we serve at the pleasure of the Ghanaian people and that the authority we exercise emanates from them. We must exhibit tolerance for their views and work to meet their aspirations. This government will not tolerate arrogance or disrespect for the people who elected us into office. Modesty and prudence must be the guiding principle upon which you, myself, and our Vice President fashion our governance. The people of Ghana will hold us accountable for the trust that they have placed in our hands. It cannot be business as usual. We must be transparent and fair in all our dealings. The anti-corruption institutions will be empowered to investigate and deal with any appointee who falls foul of the law. I expect all of you to begin the process of declaring your assets. The Chief of Staff will announce the cut-off date by which time all eligible appointees should have deposited their assets declaration forms with the Auditor General. I wish all of you good luck in your duties, and I pledge to work with you and give you the needed support, myself and Nana Jane, in the interest of working for the Ghanaian people. I thank you.
JYTV News. Keep
Cited the Quran that truly Allah is the sovereign, and it is Him who grants authority to whoever He so pleases. And so with humility, I wish to thank Allah for the favor that He has placed on us. Her Excellency, the history-making Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman, our father, the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Dr. Usman Nuhu Shaributu, our father, Sheikh Umar Ibrahim, National Chief Imam of Al Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Chief Alasan Andani Pishiguna, our Council of Zongo Chiefs and Imams, Sheikh Amin Bonsu of the Ghana Muslim Mission, the Chairman of the NDC Party, General Mosquito, our General Secretary, Fifi Fiavikwete, our members of Parliament present here, all people, citizens who are gathered here at this event, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I greet you with the Muslim greeting of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It is both a privilege and a profound honor for me to stand before you this August gathering today. And it is a divine coincidence that my first public function after being sworn in as president was to attend the Jalsa Salana convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission. And my second public appearance is at this National Thanksgiving for the Muslim community. We thank Allah for His graciousness. With humility and gratitude, we come together to offer thanks to Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, the most beneficent, for the peaceful and successful conduct of Ghana's general elections held on 7th December 2024. I'm here to say thank you, first and foremost, to my father, the National Chief Imam, for the prayers that he continued to say for me. I remember after I was selected as the flag bearer of the NDC party, I visited him to inform him of the good news and asked him for his prayers so that our heart's desire shall be achieved. And so if Allah has listened to our supplications and granted our heart's desire, it is only proper that we thank Allah, but also thank my father, the Chief Imam, for his prayers. I want to thank Sheikh Umar and all the other Muslim clerics and leaders who offered prayers on my behalf. May Allah bless all of you. Our presence here today is not just a formality, It is a declaration of our deep understanding that every blessing we enjoy as a people and as a nation comes from Allah. He has been our guide, He's been our protector, and our sustainer throughout the challenges and the triumphs of this critical democratic exercise. And Surah Ibrahim 14, verse 7 says that if you are grateful for what He has done for you, He will bestow on you more favor. But He says, if you are ungrateful, His punishment is terrible. And so, Allah, we come here to show that we're grateful for all that You have done for us. Indeed, we cannot thank Allah enough. We crisscross the length and breadth of this nation in different groups campaigning for victory in this election. I led one campaign team. Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman led another one. And our national chairman, Johnson Asiedun Ketia, was also in the lead of another campaign. These were the main campaign teams that spearheaded the national campaign. But we also had the regional and constituency campaign teams. We must give thanks to God that He allowed us to travel over several months and over several kilometers, thousands of kilometers, without any casualties. For my campaign team, by the time we finished and we got to the rally at Medina, we had easily done more than 30,000 kilometers around this country. And we did not suffer even one accident. And so we thank God for His mercy. It is only He who could have granted us that mercy. If you look at the results of the elections too, you find that the NDC won in most of the Muslim communities. And as our chairman said, it shows that we come with the recognition that our nation is a secular nation. And that all of us, no matter our ethnicity, no matter...
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I now have the singular honor to invite His Excellency the President to make a few remarks. Shall we please, with a round of applause, welcome the President.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Chief of Staff, senior officials of the Presidency, Honorable Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, newly sworn-in Minister and Deputy Ministers, distinguished invited guests, friends and family of the appointed Minister and Deputy Ministers, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. From the outset of this administration, I gave a solemn assurance to the people of Ghana that I will fulfill my promise to create a lean, efficient, cost-effective and performance-driven government. I committed to reducing the size of government from the largest ever in the history of our country to the smallest ever, while guaranteeing that every ministry or agency critical to national progress receives the necessary support to be able to fulfill its objectives. With this goal in mind, I have carefully exercised discretion in appointing deputy ministers only for ministries with comparatively heavier workloads. These include finance, agriculture, energy, roads, works and housing, tourism, interior, trade and agribusiness, education, justice, lands and natural resources, and local government, chieftaincy and religious affairs, and defense, all of which play critical roles in the growth, infrastructure development, and job creation in this country. The highly demanding responsibilities in these ministries require additional support to ensure swift and effective implementation of the programs and policies that we have set ourselves. Ministries that can function effectively without deputy ministers have not been assigned any deputy minister, reaffirming our commitment to a lean and efficient government. The swearing-in of this batch of 13 deputy ministers and 1 minister of state brings us closer to achieving the full complement of ministers. This week I'll submit a final list of 4 deputy ministers to achieve the full complement of 60 ministers that we promised. We've also achieved the earliest approval of ministers by Parliament under the Fourth Republic, enabling them to get to work to roll out our commitment to the people of Ghana. And for this, I wish to thank Mr. Speaker and the honorable members of Parliament. The same commitment to composing a lean government has found expression in the appointments made at the presidency so far. So far, I've appointed 27 presidential staffers to various roles and 3 persons as directors of important governmental initiatives, bringing the total number of political appointees so far to 30. This list of 30 is pending approval from the Council of State. At the last count, there were 336 political appointees at the presidency under the previous government. While we're in the process of recruiting supporting staff to enable the full functioning of our presidency, the numbers will come nowhere near the army of people that were hired under the previous government. Our commitment to a lean government is not merely about reducing the number of ministerial appointees or reducing the numbers at the presidency. It is grounded in our firm belief that government must exercise fiscal discipline by ensuring that public resources are used efficiently and responsibly. This commitment stems from a deep recognition that there must be a fair balance between government expenditure and the responsibility of citizens to fund national development and state administration through payment of their taxes. Public funds must go primarily into investments that benefit the Ghanaian people directly, and those who administer those funds and use it in pursuit of that objective must not be the largest beneficiary of same. The full extent of our commitment to fulfilling our promises to the people have not only manifested in the way that we have curated the leanest government under the Fourth Republic, but we've also demonstrated same in the policies that we are pursuing. Only yesterday, the first budget statement and economic policy of this government was presented on my behalf by the Minister of Finance to Parliament. The budget has outlined specific interventions across all sectors, as contained in our 2024 manifesto, aimed at revitalizing the economy and reducing hardship. These policies are also aimed at ensuring improvement in education, healthcare, roads, energy, agriculture, trade and agribusiness, and other areas, all with the overarching objective of creating jobs for our people. The budget also provided specific allocated funds for all the commitments we made in the 120-day social contract with the people of Ghana. We found resources for the major infrastructure projects under our Big Push agenda, as we have also for the no academic fees policy, for the National Apprenticeship Program, for the Jumara Program, seed money for the Women's Development Bank, and the 1 Million Coders Program, among many others. These programs, which have been carefully thought through, will guarantee jobs for our young people and provide a spark for economic recovery. We've also not left out the vulnerable in society, and we've taken the step to end one of the most depressing situations in our education system, where young girls skip school due to their inability to afford sanitary towels. We made over 290 million Ghana cedis available for the distribution 290 million Ghana cedis available for the distribution of sanitary towels to all our schoolgirls. Similar attention has been given to persons with disability whose academic fees at the tertiary level have been completely absorbed. We've also proven through the budget statement that review does not mean cancel. Review does not mean to cancel. We have finally found a remedy for the long-lasting problem of the lack of dedicated funds for free SHS. By uncapping the GET fund, we have freed resources to underwrite the single largest allocation to the free SHS program, and that is to wit 3.5 billion Ghana cedis since the program started in 2017. We've also thrown a lifeline to sufferers of chronic diseases whose treatment often come at prohibitive cost by dedicating a portion of the uncapped amount from the National Health Insurance Levy to the Ghana Health Trust Fund, otherwise called Mahama Cares Program, designed to give respite to those who are unfortunately afflicted by these chronic diseases. A portion of those uncapped funds will also be dedicated to our free primary health care program. The presentation of the budget and the proposals contained in them now offers unique incentives for all ministers and deputy ministers to operate at full throttle to achieve the exact objectives for which they have been nominated. For Lydia Lamisi Akamvariba, you work under the Special Advisor on Governmental Affairs to achieve speedy and optimal reform in our public services. And from each of you who have been appointed as deputy ministers, much is expected from you. While your role as deputy ministers require professional subordination in supporting your substantive ministers, I shall hold you to the same standards of accountability, diligence, hard work, and sacrifice for Ghana's collective success. In view of this, the same cautions I gave to ministers against arrogance, against opulence, and neglect of duty apply to you as well. You must also promptly fulfill your assets declaration requirements and submit same to the Auditor General. You must also ensure that any travel outside Ghana passes the essential travel test and receives approval from the Office of the Chief of Staff. There are two clocks we hear. For those of us elected by the good people of Ghana to lead them, the clock we hear is the ticking of the first clock of the 4-year time frame given to us by the people of Ghana. The officers you'll be working with in the public services have security of tenure, and they hear a more relaxed clock, and that clock ticks towards their retirement age of 60 years. They may therefore not be in as much a hurry as you. You must therefore work to encourage and incentivize them to work at the pace of your 4-year mandate that the people of Ghana have given to you. If you're able to do this, to let them see the urgency and the hurry in which this government is, we shall achieve success. Let me also remind that the requirement to declare assets also includes all those who have been appointed as CEOs and deputy CEOs in government departments and agencies. Some of those people think they are not included. The amended law included all of them. So those who are rushing for position, you are covered by the assets declaration rule. And so they should declare their assets as quickly as possible. I've asked the Chief of Staff to write to all such persons to declare their assets promptly with the Auditor General's office. The sacrifices I ask you to make are to secure a prosperous future for posterity, and you must never sacrifice a secure future for the pleasures of this fleeting moment. The task of resetting and building the Ghana we want is enormous. However, experience has shown that the enormity of the challenge of governance does not demand an elephant-sized government, but rather it demands effective leadership. And I count on you to work together with us to provide that elected leadership for the people of Ghana. As long as I'm president, my policy will remain clear: a lean, efficient, and results-driven government, of which you have just become a part. And so I thank you, I wish you good luck, and thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. President. Another round of applause for His Excellency the President. Giving us a
very big thanks for the honor given us. Mr. President, if I'm given the opportunity to stand on the existing protocol, I want to use this opportunity to thank you very much for recognizing us. We know that you have a very big challenge of appointing ministers and deputy ministers. People are still knocking at your doors. I need appointment. I've not been given a job. But you have given us that honor to be part and parcel of your government. We therefore want to say thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you very much, our mother, who have turned and looked at some of us. I can just say simply in Kusar, Mr. President, to post with a baraka, post here, if it comes sooner, if it young. I can also say that in Hausa. Mr. President, Mungode Kore, Kanda Katuna Muna, Kaba Muna, Wanga position. I can also say that in Ghana. Mr. President, oh, you are a dong, ago. I said, okay, well, I can you to a fact, okay, or a dong, bully, that if you jam, for Katuko, for the Tayam, I said we to borrow at the Katrina. To it, I just want to say thank you on my own behalf and the behalf of the deputy ministers that you have sworn in today. And we are committed to help you to see that vision, that commitment of resetting this country back to where it's supposed to be after the cankerworm has eaten it. Mr. President, I want to make a solemn promise that we will never disappoint you. We will do our bit. We'll do our best. We'll try as much as possible to do whatever advice you have given us. We are so grateful. Today is International Women's Day in Parliament. I'm supposed to be in that cloth, but you know, I'm a Northerner, and I also have to showcase that one. So I have changed. I want to stand on behalf of our mother, the Vice President, to say Ayuko to all the women of this country who have made our children proud. We have made our husbands proud. And we pray, with the commitment the President has made, we are going to have a better future for our families. Mr. President, we thank you for the Women Bank. Again, I want to say a very big thank you to the people of Timpani for making it possible. I cannot finish without mentioning my chairman. In my tears, when it was hard for me and I couldn't see any other person, he said, Mama, you have to clean those tears and let us go. Chairman, I'm very grateful. Thank you very much for making it possible and making the President to see that your mother, even in her tears, she managed to get to where she is today. Thank you very much. Thank you every family that is here. Thank you, the journalists. Thank you, the media. Thank you, everybody, for coming and gracing this occasion. Mr. President, words cannot say much more than this. You can only see that in our work and in our works. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, just stay there, please. Just a second. The senior government officials, chief of staff, the first row, please. You may kindly join them. Chief of staff, secretary to the president, Minister for Justice, presidential advisor, kindly join them, please. Yes, presidential advisor on security. Yes. Please make sure you smile. It's going to appear in the front page of the daily graphic.